again, everybody! And welcome to In the Library of Graphic Literature with Wallace Ryan.
Hey!
It was half intro Thursday Comics, half intro Library.
Yeah.
So, I haven't done this one in a while.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think folks will be pleased.
Yeah.
And as you've noticed, of course, this is not Luna.
No, I'm not Luna, sorry. You got me.
This is Dennis Osbourne from my co-host, co-creator on Thursday Comics. Actually, a podcast you should listen to because it's us unleashed.
Yeah.
We're going to be nice here.
This is PG, that's rated R.
Yeah, rated R. So if you want to see us tell it like it is, check out that one.
Rated X if you're lucky.
Speaking of telling like it is, let's show people what's... Now, there's some new stuff here, a bit of old stuff, but there's... highly unusual, there is a comic.
There is.
Hate Revisited by Peter Bagge, surely one of the funniest men in comics. I loved it during the 90s, and I still love it today. It's absolutely hilarious. It's politically incorrect, which makes it even better than ever. Because anything that rocks the boat to me, us cartoonists, we're supposed to be nonconformists, right? So the more nonconformists, the more you can rebel against society and the system. And this is the first step by this comic.
Yeah.
But yeah, love his stuff, but very, very, very funny man. And next up, going from the funny to the serious. This is a few weeks ago now. I got this.
A few weeks ago, yeah. It was a drop-off delivery by me, so...
Yes. Now this is... And it's funny because they do it just like the Marvel...
They do, yeah.
Marvel graphic novel. This is, of course, Dreadstar versus the inevitable Jim Starlin and Jamie Jameson.
So it's the 4th or 5th volume? I think you got the box set of 3.
Yeah, and then
another one.
Yeah,
Dreadstar Returns, I think, and then the inevitable.
And this one, of course, has all the same... all the same folks back.
And bookmark.
Including the bookmark. Oh, and the Lord Papal there. Check out the Lord Papal. I like Jamie Jameson's inks on Starlin too, because they remind me. She really brings it back to old time Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
Talk about someone who, who seems to be not a clone, but someone who inks your work so good that it looks like your work from all those years ago.
Right.
But yeah, Jim still got it. So, like I say, check out and I mean, I love Dreadstar.
Oh yeah.
The back in the what was that? Back in the 80s.
Back in the 80s.
Loved it.
And then doing work for Epic, I think, transferred to Epic Comics. They did a run and.
Oh, hang on a second. Yes, yeah, exactly. Hang on a second. I forgot one of our lights here. Oh yeah, because I was going to say, geez, this isn't quite as light. Even though we're doing this in the middle of the day,
right. And it's warm as all hell.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, this is the only cool room in the whole building. Yeah. Okay, now this I got from Ragin Canadian Comics. I do believe was the people, a Canadian company, and they did an amazing job. Very well packed. I mean, when I opened it, all the corners very clean. It was. I mean, and he had wrapped it in this old time craft paper.
Okay.
Once inside the box too, so I mean, and had something wrapped around it to keep it from moving around, and it arrived in perfect condition.
This is one of your more sought after omnibus because it sold out really quick. I think it had a low print run.
Yeah, and, Golden Age Batman.
Yeah, volume 10. So it's actually, I think it's the last volume.
Yeah, for the Golden Age.
Yeah.
And now and I mean, if I hadn't been able to get this where I had up to 9, and then volume 1 of the Silver Age, it would have been just, I would have enlivened myself, as the young people are want to say. Now this, of course, has a lot of the good old-fashioned Dick Sprang type of stuff, and hang on a second. Okay, there we go. The old Dick Sprang Batman. I kind of liked it, even though it's a little bit corny or whatever.
It's of its time.
But it's still, it's kind of fun, right? But yeah, definitely worth getting. And now, as a matter of fact, I've actually started with volume 1.
Okay.
I'm reading my way through the entire Golden Age. No matter what it takes, this Golden Age is going down. So yes. And now a newer omnibus, I guess.
Probably one of my most sought after ones of the year. And it's a big boy.
And definitely one of the heaviest omnibuses, I think, yet, is Justice League International Omnibus Volume 3. with the late Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, and Kevin McGuire.
Kevin McGuire, yeah. And it also art by Kevin McGuire, Bart Sears, Chris Wozniak, and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
Maybe Terry Dodson did some as well. It all depends.
He could have.
He could have done.
We'll flip. Oh my
But
God.
the fun thing about this run, which I don't think Wallace knew, is so it's the 3 omnibus, but you're getting the Justice League International and the Justice League Europe, because they kind of connected in a way.
Yeah.
So you're getting 2 full series in one with the 3 omnibus.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Along with and they're even throwing in the Huntress special.
Yes. Yep.
But when I went through it, it was just like, I bought a lot of these. I'm not sure where I did.
Yeah.
Finish up with it myself, but I mean, I bought well into the series.
I bought it. I think around 26, 27 is probably when I dropped off.
Yeah.
So getting the omnibus complete run was fantastic.
Yeah. So it's and even myself, it was just like I was in it more for the first 2 volumes. Yeah. But if you're into two volumes, you gotta get the third.
And I think 3rd will be the final one. I think 3 is final.
Yeah.
That'll be it then. So it's a good little companion piece. The spines all match.
Yes. Yeah.
Gorgeous artwork inside and out. New cover by Kevin McGuire.
Yes, I like the cover.
Wraparound cover.
Oh, that's
So you get a chance to see that. And it's like with all of them.
It is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I do like it, right? So definitely well worth it. And once again, one of the best things that DC has put out this year, because I was trying to think leading up to this, geez, they really haven't kept up with it themselves. I mean, Marvel has put out actually a couple. I mean, at least we got the ROM and the Micronauts and actually we did get a Hulk and a Daredevil too, didn't we? So far this year.
We were talking about with the podcast doing like a top 10 books of the year so far, and I was like, I think I only bought 10 books. So it's going to be, and not all of them should be on the top list.
Yeah. So just to let you know, we're very disappointed.
We're very disappointed in you. We're not mad, we're disappointed.
And speaking of Jim Starlin, I did just recently order the Breed Omnibus.
Yeah.
It's still in Kickstarter phase.
Yeah.
I know it's funded already, of course. Overnight funding. And so definitely get that. Now, how many episodes or volumes left in the Tyrion the Pirates? Is it 3 now? So I got 9.
9. I think maybe 12 or 13.
Well,
because you got that 13th volume
So
in the first lot, which is weird, but...
So that'll be coming to an end. And I mean, geez, it's... these days, too, I think I'm going to branch out even more into graphic novels, because it's... Unless, something comes out in Omnibus that, like a Marvel premiere or whatever.
Something,
Marvel fanfare, right? Then I'm all there. Or the Fool Killer. But yeah, any one of those would do, right? But in the meantime, like I said, check out our podcasts. Our podcasts are fun. They're
so when this episode comes up, we should have just finished the top 10 steady hand artists.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing the top 10 steady hand writers.
Yep.
Basically underrated creators that have done work for 20, 30 years. Very underrated. Not your superstar, but your solid B+ creators.
Exactly. And it was a fun list to both lists were fun and challenging. The writers one a bit more challenging than the artists. And you got me in a few of those.
I got you on a couple. But we always find it fun because we're slightly different generations. You're going more late 60s, 70s, into early 80s. I'm doing late 80s, 90s, and into 2000s.
Exactly.
So when we do a top 10, as fun as it is getting similar ones that, I think we only have one in the last one.
Yeah.
You're getting a list of 20 creators.
Yes.
And it all depends on your fandom, your age range, your eras, things like that. You can kind of pick them up from different...
Yeah, and the ones that we agree on, then they gots to be good.
They gots to be.
They gots to be. But yeah, it's a fun show, and I do enjoy that part of it too, of not knowing what your 10 are, because it's the shock, delight, and sometimes outrage that you hear is real.
And I mean, we're up to 208, 209 episodes, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I mean, we started that just before COVID.
Yeah, I mean...
And they crept up pretty quick.
Well, this is, I mean, we're into our 280s now, or whatever, heading up to 300.
It's catching up,
I mean, I've been doing this for at least 5 years or so, right? It was good old Sophia's. It was the one who tormented me until I
decided to do it.
Anyway, it just seemed like, geez, I got all these books, I might as well, do something with them, right?
Check out the first episode. I think you did the Akira box set.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I did.
you
As
did.
a matter of fact.
And I always notice, if you look at the early episodes, you're more like proper and eloquent. Same when we were doing the Thursday comics. The first early ones were like, "Hello, Wallace. How are you today?"
Yeah.
And now it's just
Okay, yeah.
R-rated cursing and everything. And
Yeah, so you're
you
gonna
get
love
more
that.
comfortable behind the camera,
Well, yeah.
and more comfortable with each other, just chatting. You try to be professional, but professional's boring.
Yeah.
You gotta have
yeah.
a bit of fun. So
Well, and I had forgotten that I was wearing the official Thursday Comics T-shirt, which we should do a run on these with the logo I did. And
we tried to upload a bunch of merch to TeePublic,
yeah.
but there were some sizing issues.
Oh
and
yeah,
things.
it was a big pain in the ass. Now that I got my new Photoshop reinstalled and everything,
We can do
all
that.
I might give it a shot because I think it'd be quite cool.
Initially, we had T-shirts, magnets, mugs, things
Right.
like that. So,
And
but
I want-
TeePublic takes care of all that. Then we just upload the image.
Well, I've been wanting to do a logo for the Library of Graphic Literature itself, and something that's cool too. Because even though it's a library, it's unlike any other library you've seen, right?
Well, my girlfriend always says the big thing is about every comic, library, and collection is unique to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Wallace's is totally different from mine, but you both appreciate the ones that you have.
well, exactly. And it reminded me of hanging out with my buddy Jerry Porter when I was a kid. He was the one who turned me on to Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
So I would not have known of Howard unless it was for Jerry.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he'd be reading some of my stuff. And he was also the one who brought heavy metal into the studio.
Yeah.
And so you got to see this. And, of course, blew my mind, right? And he introduced me to, like, Little Nemo, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's you never know. And that's the other good thing about doing this show and doing the page is I've had a lot of people from around the world who've, made comments and then said, "Oh, by the way, you should check out this."
Yeah.
So I have actually experienced some positive things that way too.
And we do it ourselves. I'll recommend books to you. You'll recommend books to me, and that's where half of this comes from.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
recommendations and
Oh yeah.
word of mouth online, and
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
fun of it.
Right.
So
Now, of course, next week we will, of course, have the lovely Luna back here. I'm hoping that I at least buy enough books or
Buy something.
come up with a cool enough
Yeah.
premise anyway.
Yeah.
So we have been doing fill-in ones too, much like our show,
yes,
but without the swearing.
so much swearing.
Yes,
There's
so
so
much
much swearing.
Anyways, I guess that's it for this week. Check us out next week and check out Thursday Comics.
Wherever you get your
it's both-
podcast from.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll post that before I post this video.
On Apple, we actually have 5 stars.
Oh, go away.
We're rated 5
Oh
stars
my
on
God.
Apple. Yeah.
We are 5-star. And
I don't know what they were listening to because we're not 5 star.
I mean, and we are very much a cult podcast.
We are,
And we're kind of proud of that.
There you go.
Anyways, that being said, thanks for having us over. Right this way. Where's it? Walk this way. Okay, and once again, thank you for coming over there.
Thank you.
And wave bye to the folks.
Bye, folks.